The role of SSI in Indian economic development. Hello friends, today we are going to discuss the 14 marks answer. Now this one is the 2019 paper, in that the question has been asked of role of SSI in Indian economic development. So the role of SSI is it develops it in economic is like it generates employment. So when especially the SMC are agricultural based industries, and when there is a fixed investment of a lakh rupee in a fixed asset, surely it gives an employment to at least 4%. So that is a good factor that generates employment. Second is the production. SMC sector plays a vital role for the growth of the country. It contributes 40% of the gross manufacturing to the Indian economy. Export contribution. SMC sector plays a major role in Indian present export performance, like 45% to 50% of the Indian export is being contributed by the small scale industry sector, and the number of SSI that undertake direct exports would be more than 5,000, and it brings innovation and development. And it is like SME, where we can assimilate new design trends, developing contemporary and a product and bringing them to the marketplace ahead of competition. So it leads to innovation. Utilizing resources optimally. So SME are notably skillful in maximizing the use of the scarce capital resources and are able to partner with large scale firms by supplying locally available raw materials in unprocessed or semi processed form. It brings entrepreneurial capacity, it develops the entrepreneurial capacity. SMC act as the seed bed for the development of entrepreneurial skill and innovation. They provide part in the provision of services in the community. They can make important contribution to the regional development. It increases GDP, gross domestic product. So 9% of the country's GDP SME sector contributes, which is like 45% of the manufactured output and 40% of its export. So not only it provides employment to million person, but 31 million enterprises with lower labor to capital ratio and produces 6,000 product. It's a feeder to the large scale industry. So SMCE sector is a feeder, is a complementary to large scale industries by providing spare parts, semi finished goods, various things to the large scale sector. Small scale industries is like an opportunity for the artisan, okay, those who are skilled people who have creativity in them, especially the villages artisan and specialize or having an expertise in various skills. So they can use their opportunity and skill by starting up a small scale industry. By the help of the small scale industry, they can increase their standard of living. So with the establishment of small business in rural areas, so they will have good type of facilities like employment, electricity, water, road, banks, mode of transport. In such a situation, promotion of standard of living is possible. Less pressure of population on agriculture. Why? Because India is a country where majority of the people are dependent on agriculture. So when they start their own business as an entrepreneur, like a small scale industries, when they start by their own, so there is no that much of pressure on the agriculture. And after that, the more they will be self employed, the more it will be help for the equitable distribution of the income and wealth, so that the richer will not be more richer and the poor will not be more getting poor again and again. So that the equitable distribution of income and wealth is possible when when there is the small scale industries set up in all the backward and rural areas as well. So the regional development is possible, which will lead for the equitable distribution of income and wealth. So the last advantage of SSI in the economic development is social advantage. SMC offers opportunity for an independent way of life of people with a small means. They offer saving in social overheads like education, housing, medical facilities by taking industry near to the people. They help to rise per capita income and standard of living in the country. After this, we have the next question, which is another very important question, that is function of an entrepreneur. So first, function of an entrepreneur is innovation. Innovation is to create a new idea to turn it into a reality. So entrepreneurship is a creative activity, and the entrepreneur introduces something new in any branch of economic activity, like introduction of new product or new technology or new market of a product or discovery of new sources of supply. It could be anything. And risk bearing, the more the risk he takes, the more the reward he will earn. So risk taking is an uncertainty bearing, implies assuming the responsibility for loss that may occur in the unforeseen contingencies of the future. Business is a game of skill where risk and rewards both are great. Ability of highest order is required for success in entrepreneurship. An entrepreneur is an especially talented and motivated person who undertakes the risk of business. So after that, the second function is organization and management. Recognize organization and management of the enterprise is the main function of the entrepreneur. Planning of an enterprise, coordination, administration and control. It should be like a routine type of supervision of employees. And other functions like understanding one's own capacity, identifying new opportunity where they could start a business or expand their business or can create a market for their product, like that. Planning new venture, planning new human resource requirement or financial requirement or asset requirement, shareholder fund investment and capital requirement, and organizing new venture like a new form of ownership, determining organizational structure and managing finances, and another very important function of an entrepreneur. He has to borrow or capital or arrange his own capital. He has to prepare and review for time to time sectional and master budget with fund flow estimate, analyze financial requirement and statement, and maintain proper books of accounts. Managing production operation, so he has to know some of the technical knowledge and production operation, formulating purchasing policy and even inventory control system, so that he could give a good work framework for the total quality control. After that, he has to manage the workforce. Not only he has to manage the work, so he should not only mind the work, not only control the work, but also he has to manage the workforce as well. And managing market, he has to collect, analyze regular data on customer desires with special reference to product quality, price and services, sale after service, select and review marketing channel, and ensure smooth flow of goods to marketplace, and motivate sales and servicing personnel. So these all are the function of entrepreneur. Now let's move on to explain the importance of business plan. So what are all the importance of making a business plan? It gives a direction to our vision, which is formulated by the entrepreneur, to objectively evaluate the prospectus of business, whether it is profitable or not, to monitor the progress after implementing business plan, to persuade other to join business, to get idea from them, or to get good as a amount fund from them. We can show our business plan to others to join our business. We can seek loan from the financial institution by showing the business plan. We can visualize concept in term of market availability, organizational, operational and financial feasibility. It guides the entrepreneur in the actual implementation of plan, to identify actual strength and weakness of plan, to identify challenges in terms of opportunity and threats for the external market, to clarify ideas and identify gaps in management information about the business, competitors and market, and to identify the reason that would be required to implement the plan. So the another question is, explain the role of commercial bank in development of SSI. So what is the role of commercial banks? It provides short term and medium term loan in the industry. It mobilizes saving for the capital formation. It finances industry, finances trade, finances agriculture, financing employment and generating employment generating activity, general purpose term loans, liberalized credit for SSI, entrepreneur scheme, it provides equity fund scheme, Shri Shakti package, composite loan scheme, margin money scheme, and Mahila Udayam Nidhi scheme. Last is the export finance scheme. So these all are the services which is provided role of commercial bank in the development of SSI. After that, we have discussed the various problems encountered by women entrepreneur in India. So patriarchal society, it means the domination of men, absence of entrepreneurial attitude, marketing problem, women faces marketing problem, financial problem, family conflict, credit facility, lack of self confidence, lack of training, low risk bearing ability, lack of education, lack of business experiences, negative attitude of bank and financial institution whenever regarding giving loans to women's, inadequate infrastructural facilities, shortage of raw material, heavy competition, high cost of production, social barriers, male domination, lack of encouragement from family, lack of access to advanced technology. So these were all the problems which the women entrepreneur faces. Let's move on to the 2018 question paper. In that, explain the classification of entrepreneur. So on the basis of the type of classification of business development, on the basis of stages of development, on the basis of motivation, on the basis of technology, on the basis of capital ownership, other classification, according to gender and age, according to area, according to scale and others. On the basis of the type of business, business entrepreneur who starts business unit after developing ideas for new product or services, trading entrepreneur who does not engage in manufacturing, they undertake only buying and selling of goods. After that, we have corporate entrepreneur, which they deal with the organization which is a separate legal entity. Agricultural entrepreneur who do the activities like raising and marketing of crop, fertilizer and other allied activity. Industrial entrepreneur, as the very name indicates, industrial entrepreneur is one who set up an industrial unit. He perceives the opportunity to set up his unit. On the basis of stages of development, we have first generation entrepreneur, the business, the generation who didn't had any background support. So that is first generation, like Dhirubhai Ambani or JRD Tata. Of second generation entrepreneur are their inherit, okay, the family business who pass to next generation, like Anil and Mukesh and Ratan Tata. That could be the best example. Classical entrepreneur who aims to maximize his economic return at a level consistent with the survival of the unit with or without any element of growth. So classical entrepreneur does not want to grow, they just want to have good economic returns with whatever they have already. On the basis of motivation, we have pure entrepreneur, a pure entrepreneur who is motivated by himself to become an entrepreneur for his personal satisfaction. Induced entrepreneur is to take the benefit of the government subsidy and rebates. When he becomes an entrepreneur, such is called as induced entrepreneur. Spontaneous entrepreneur is a person who has the initiative, boldness and confidence in his ability, and it is an inborn talent and drive them to establish own venture. On the basis of technology, technical entrepreneur, they prefer doing to thinking. Non-technical entrepreneur who does not give that much importance to technology, but they'll give more importance to marketing and promotion. After that, we have professional entrepreneur who start a business unit but later sell the running business and start a unit later. So such a business entrepreneurs are the professional entrepreneur who are interested in starting a business but not in running a business. They will sell out and again they'll set up a new business and again they'll sell out. So such kind of a entrepreneur is professional entrepreneur. On the basis of capital ownership, we have private entrepreneur, state entrepreneur which is taken by the government, a joint entrepreneur which is a combination of both private and government entrepreneur. Other classification according to gender and age, we have man entrepreneur, women entrepreneur, young, old, middle-aged entrepreneur. According to area, we have urban and rural entrepreneur. According to scale, we have large, medium, small and tiny scale of entrepreneur. Others, we have spiritual entrepreneur, social entrepreneur and edupreneur. According to Clarence Danhoff, we have Fabian entrepreneur who is skeptical to change, drone entrepreneur who doesn't want to change even if it is like they will get reduced return on that time they'll change. Entrepreneur is the person who focuses on innovation and creativity and who transform a dream or an idea into profitable venture. So what are the stages involved in preparing promotion plan or action plan? So first we need to define the problem. After that we need to collect and analyze the data. After that, clarity and priority of the problem. We need to prioritize the problem and we need to write a goal statement for each solution with the help of SMART: specific, measurable, achievable, relevant and timely. So by this we can be able to go through with our problem. We need to implement solution. We need to monitor whether the solution is working and we need to evaluate, and again we need to restart with new problem or refine the old problem. So let's move on to know the contrast and difference between private company and public company. A private company is one that is not listed on a stock exchange. A public company is which is listed on a recognized stock exchange. Private company can be started with 2 members and public company need to have 7 members to start a public company. A private company can have a maximum 200 member subject to condition, but there is no maximum limit of member in public company. Private limited company can have a minimum of 2 director. The public company should have at least 3 director. There is no compulsion to conduct statutory meeting, but there is compulsion in public company to call a statutory general meeting of members in case of a public company. The issue of prospectus and statement instead of the prospectus is not mandatory, but the prospectus issue is mandatory in the case of a public company. Minimum paid up capital should be 1 lakh, but here the minimum paid up capital should be 5 lakhs. A private company can start its business just receiving a certificate of incorporation, but the public company should also receive the certificate of commencement of business after it is incorporated. Let's move on and discuss what are the marketing problem of small scale industry. So small scale industry are not in a position to play role effectively due to various constraints. First is finance. The scarcity of capital and inadequate availability of the credit facility are the major problem of the small scale industry. Second is the raw material. They have like inadequate quantity and poor quality, and even supply of raw material are not on regular basis. Idle capacity. Underutilization of capacity of machinery can be found in small scale industry due to non-availability of raw material, power, labor and all. Technology. SSI are not fully exposed to the latest technology. They lack requisite resources to update the modern technology in their plant and machinery, which leads inadequate production. Marketing. The SSI is facing marketing problem. They are not in a position to get first hand information about the market. They don't even get the proper infrastructure like communication power, transportation and all, and underutilization of capacity, and project planning. They do not have proper project planning, so that is why these all are the things which is act as a problem, marketing problem for the small scale industry. So let's move on and list out the institution offering financial assistance to small scale industries. So first we have Industrial Finance Corporation of India, IFCI, and IDBI Bank, Industrial Credit Investment Corporation of India, ICICI Bank, the National Bank for Agricultural and Rural Development, that is NABARD, and then the Small Scale Industries Development Bank of India, that is SIDBI, Industrial Investment Bank of India, that is IIBI, and LIC, Life Insurance Corporation of India. General Insurance Corporation of India also provides financial assistance to the SSI. Export and Import Bank of India provides financial institution for promotion and financing of India's international trade. Khadi and Village Industries Commission, KVIC, is also engaged in the development of Khadi and village industry in rural area. National Small Industries Corporation, NSIC, to promote and develop small scale industries in country. State Industrial Development Corporation, it is also to gives underwriting and direct subscription to share and debenture. State Small Industries Development Corporation, SSIDC, which provides responsible and it's an undertaking which helps the need of the small scale, tiny and cottage industry. State Finance Corporation, with the objective of financing and promoting small and medium scale industry. Explain the various steps involved before commencing business. First, we need to make a business plan. After that, we need to get help and we need to get some training. And then we need to choose our business location. And then we need to understand the financing option. After that, we have to decide on the business structure and register business name and get a tax ID. And after getting a tax ID, we need to register with tax authority and apply for permits and licenses, and then we need to hire employees. After that, so what are the major aspects of business plan? Financial aspect, marketing aspect, HRM aspect, technical aspect, social aspect. In financial aspect, we need to make a cash budget, working capital, income statement, cash flow statement, balance sheet and break-even analysis, equity and debt funds. In marketing aspect, we need to make market decision, we need to understand the product and service strategy, pricing strategy, promotion strategy, advertising, what kind of advertising, personal selling, sales promotion, indoor, outdoor, distribution strategy, what are the channels of distribution, sales forecast and marketing strategy. In human resource aspect, we need to go through with the organization chart with the name and title of the key executive, brief detail of the executive and their previous experience, education and qualification, detailed resume of each executive, contribution of the each individual to the company and their duties and responsibility, specify the initial salary and all. These is all are the plans which is related to the HRM1. After that, let's move on to the social aspect. To produce quality goods and services, to provide true data, to maintain the safety of the product user, to restrict adulteration. So these all are the social aspects. Technical aspect, we need to understand the technical feasibility of the project, quantity, what kind of a quantity to be provided, what kind of a specification of the project, physical plant layout. And these all are the following factors should also be considered while choosing technology, like functions, ease of use, security, flexibility and maintaining of social consideration. Now the question is, enlist the financial institution offering support to SSI. Explain the role of IFCI and SIDBI. So State Financial Corporation, SFC, it's been established by respective state, are playing a significant role in providing financial assistance and other type of support to SSI. So it was passed in 1951, provides long-term finance for certain identified group of items in manufacturing as well as service sector. KSFC is for the financial assistant to set up to tiny, small, medium and large scale industrial unit in Karnataka. SIDBI was established in 1990. So it has 5 regional offices and 33 branches. There are type of direct finance, foreign currency loan, venture capital, refinancing and microfinancing. Various commercial banks also extending financial assistance to SSI. KSIDC is another institution which extends financial support to SSI in Karnataka, and IFIC is the first financial institution in India which was developed in 1948 as a statutory corporation, and it has promoted such as National Stock Exchange, Management Development, Housing Finance Limited, etc. So Small Scale Industries Development Bank of India, SIDBI, it is the objective is to promote finance and developing the industry in small scale sector, coordinating the function of other institutions engaged in similar activities, setting up a new project and setting up new, expanding, diversification, modernization, technology, gradation, quality improvement, etc. is being undertaken for the existing unit. Export promotion, development of infrastructure and all is given. There are various functions of SIDBI. It discounts and rediscounting of bill it does. It gives direct assistance to SSI. It helps in national small scale industry making hire purchase and leasing things, and it gives loans like Mahila Vikas Nidhi, National Inquiry Fund and all. Let's move on to the IFCI. It was established in 1st July 1948 under the Act of Parliament. Its objective is to extend the financial assistance to industries in rupees. It provides financial assistance for the purchase of equipment, finance to leasing and hire purchase companies. The project value more than 300 lakh are financed by IFCI, guaranteeing for deferred payment due to the industries in connection with purchase of capital. Function is to sanction loan to the company, raising capital by issuing shares and debenture, raising the capital of public limited company, taking guarantee payment on behalf of this company, sanctioning loan to the company, to set up a new company, to expand, diversify the existing company, to renovate and modernize the existing company. So these all are the functions of IFCI. So let's discuss the factors influencing entrepreneurship. So we have first we have psychological factor, that is need of achievement like culture, belief and minority group. After that we have personal motives, recognition, need of authority, spirit of capitalism and all. After that we have social factor, which is the legitimacy of entrepreneurship, social marginality, family, role model and association with similar type of individual, caste system, occupation, education and technical qualification, social status and social responsibility, economic factor like infrastructure, financial resources, availability of material and know-how, labor condition, market support system and government policy, and personality factor like personality, independence and compulsion. So let's move on and understand the another important question, that is financial incentive available to small scale industry. So it differential rate of interest scheme. So these are the, it provides composite loan scheme, margin money scheme for tiny sector, special capital scheme of IDBI, seed capital scheme, equity fund scheme, soft loan scheme, bill rediscounting scheme, margin money scheme, rehabilitation scheme and credit guarantee scheme are the various schemes which has been provided as incentive to the small scale industries. Thank you very much.